Hello.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Well, in a second, there we are. We're back. Um, that was. I'm not sure how. I think you guys were able to see us at least a bunch of that presentation. I know I saw Kiki there. Uh, that was a great tag team for what we want to speak about now, which is growing print, empowering the next generation, and in my opinion, there is no company out there better suited to have this conversation than Specialty Print Communications. And let me explain why. Ever since, and I don't want to cry, but Ryan's somebody out there who makes me cry because he is a giver. He has been championing printing as a career for as long as I've ever known him. He has championed Girls Who Print. I would say you are one of the top supporters of Girls Who Print out there. I will never forget when you had custom cookies with Girls Who Print logos brought to the Graph Expo to celebrate Girls Who Print Day. And you don't just talk about this, you actually actively do things to help the industry, and not just your company, the entire industry, by working with schools and helping them develop curriculums that are relevant to the world we live in now. So I want to just start off by asking you guys to speak about obviously specialty communications. But Ryan, when you get to, I would like you to introduce Kiki and specifically how you two came to know each other, please.
Yeah. So I'll start out with the introduction of Kiki. So, as you mentioned, we work with many of the college programs across the country, and there was a time that I was going down to Clemson University to do a speaking engagement and then also do some recruiting. And Kiki submitted her resume, and immediately within just a couple minutes of the start of our interview, I knew that Kiki was someone that is a brilliant mind and super passionate about our industry, even though she hadn't even been in our industry yet. And so from that point, she has been on our team. And I'll let Kiki talk a little bit more about her specific role, but about my role, I'm a third generation printer. So my grandfather started a print company in the 1930s. And so the fact that we're about 90 years into our family's print career, it's pretty amazing. And it's due to a lot of the things that we've been talking about, the technology and the constant innovation, which is always fascinating and fun for us to be in. Uh, a little bit about specialty print communications. We're a third generation family business. Like I said, we mail over 1 billion pieces of mail per year. So that's kind of our core niche, but we certainly have a wide breadth of other things that we do, from fulfillment to marketing services and kind of everything in between.
Excellent. So, Kiki, first of all, you were in Clemson's graphic communications program, correct?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct.
So why don't you speak a little bit about that, and then what attracted you to specialty print, sorry, specialty print communications and the printing industry? I think what we have seen, and when I say we, Ryan and I have been like in this for a long time, working with GCEA, really trying to help the educators to try to understand, to get the students from the programs into the real world. But there has got to be some outreach. So let's just talk about how important that was to you, and how we can get, I don't want to skip ahead here, but really why that was important to you. And I'll leave it there for now.
Yeah, sounds good, Deborah. So I did graduate from Clemson's graphic communications program in 2016. How I got into print was completely on accident. I did not know that graphic communications was a print program. I, like many people, thought it was a graphic design program. And that's actually a conversation that we've had with the schools over and over again, is how do you kind of name this program in a way that's interesting to students who don't know about it, while still being honest and true to what the program actually is. One of the things that's excellent about Clemson's GC program is that they have a really good relationship with the industry. So they bring in companies throughout the school year to give presentations or facility tours if they are close by, especially Charlotte or Atlanta, so that students can understand what the industry actually does and what careers are possible for us in the industry. It can be very hard as a student to translate what you're learning every day to what you're actually going to be doing in the jobs that our print companies are hiring for after college. So Clemson does require internships, which I think is just huge for understanding your post-college career, and brings in companies to interview on campus, which is how I got connected with Ryan and SPC. So I was attracted to SPC through how passionate they are about staying up to date on new technology. We just saw a great presentation from John at Quad at how much the technology has changed over the last decade, 2 decades. And that's something that SPC is very involved with too. I like learning, I like applying what I learned. So staying on top of new technologies, that is a sweet spot for me. And that's what we do here at SPC.
Excellent. So your official title is Account Manager, Training and Development Leader.
Yep.
What does a training and development leader do?
So we find ourselves with a mix of new employees that are coming fresh out of college that do have the print experience, but not the real world experience, or students who are coming from non-print focused college programs, and employees who are coming from various parts of the industry. Maybe they know the print side, but not the data side, because we do focus on a lot of direct mail. Maybe they know the data side, but not the print side. So there might just be a missing piece to that puzzle. So as training and development leader, I create all of the materials about what we do at SPC and how we get it done at SPC, and then kind of adapt that to the various knowledge levels we have coming in and joining our team, so that no matter where you're starting, everybody can get to the same point and do it the same way.
My face actually hurts from smiling because, I mean, Kiki, I was there from when you started as an entry-level employee to look at you now, training and development leader. But I have to say that is also a testament to the culture at SPC and Ryan's, I don't want to say passion, there's a ton of passion there, but it's a dedication to making sure that this industry stays viable. And one of the things I think that Ryan and I have had multiple conversations on is that there is I don't want to say misunderstanding, there's a knowledge gap in how do I translate what I'm learning in school to how do I apply that to some role in a printing shop or some role in a manufacturer or a vendor. And now, especially when we have all these hybrid things running around, I think that it might be even more difficult. So how have things, changed over the last few years, and how do we really make that clear connection to people that if you have these skills, these are all the jobs that are potentially for you? Ryan, we'll start with you, please.
Yeah. So when Kiki and I were working on the board of one of the college print programs, we were trying to help them do their outreach to non-print students, people that didn't know about them as a program. And when you just say the word print or even graphic communications, it's not really well defined for those that don't know exactly, all the opportunities within it. So we wanted to help define that. So for instance, on this one school, we defined print as business plus science plus art. And the thought behind it is just simply what we're trying to showcase is that it's not any one specific area or piece. There's a lot of complexity across all of those different areas. So if you have a business mind, or if you have a science mind, or even an art mind, there's a role for you within our industry. And so that's something that is so amazing in our industry versus some of the others that Once we kind of understand someone's motivations and what they enjoy doing, there's definitely a career path for essentially anybody that is out there.
You had developed a brochure at one point, which literally had a career paths on it. Whatever happened with that? It wasn't really embraced by a lot of people. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
sure
mean,
why.
so yeah, no doubt. It's an ongoing battle. We're always trying to get the word out there. So we do publish a lot of those types of items on our SBC social media. We try to share them with the colleges. We want to help put the word out there. And like you had mentioned earlier, obviously we're trying to recruit for SPC, but we're not only trying to do that. We're trying to help grow the industry because there is a huge shortage of people interested in our industry, and it's because of lack of knowledge. And so we're trying to help fight that fight for all of us. And certainly there are other people and companies that do a good job, but we need to continue that battle to get the word out there about all the opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of conversations and we've had conversations. I've been to Clemson many times. There's tons of people in the programs, but they don't make it into the printing industry. And when I speak to the educators who are on the front lines of understanding why people are taking jobs and where they're taking jobs, it seems that the appeal of the other channels is there are a couple of things. One, there seems to be higher entry level salaries in different fields of communications. The second thing, and I'm not going to say that this applies to your place, Ryan, because it doesn't, but my God, if you've been to some of these printing companies, it's not an attractive place that somebody just coming out of school really wants to work at. It may be the nicest part of the printing company is the client room, and the rest of it is yellow cinder block walls, and the chair that Jerry died from emphysema in 1963 is still in the lounge. So Kiki, I want to turn this to you because I've been saying this for a couple of years now. We really have an image and a PR problem. We have the goods, but we don't know how to package it correctly. So can you speak to that? And did you see any other print shops, don't name them, before SBC that might have reflected what I just said, my description?
I can certainly speak to that because the online look of SPC is a lot of what drove me in. So I can say kids are looking at that, and us as print shops, we have to brand ourselves to be appealing to the new generations coming in. So that is something that really brought me into SPC, and I think it's something we've done a really good job at keeping up over the years and refreshing so that it doesn't get stale. Yeah, there are print shops out there that just do not look very appealing. So I do know what you're talking about. We actually, great timing for us, just did a overhaul this summer. So the furniture of years past is out and clean, new, nice looking furniture is in. The other thing I think we've been really successful at doing is just staying up with every graduating class and bringing in young employees every year. So we have brought down the average age of our department here, which is great. So people can retire, right? And we have backup for when those people are ready to retire and sit back and enjoy life. So that creates an atmosphere where when you walk in and you see who's working here, young employees coming out of college can see themselves reflected in our department, and it maybe makes it seem more approachable. And they can really envision themselves coming and having a career here. I hope that they can see my path over the last 7.5 years of starting as an associate account manager, then an account manager, and now training and development leader, to see a path for themselves to really make a mark on a company and work their way up and build their career.
So, Ryan, I mean, technology is definitely something that is attractive to Gen Zers. They live there, have always lived on their phones, as opposed to Gen Xers who have lived in both places. But we still need press operators, and we still need people who to work in the bindery, and we still need people to work in fulfillment. So, how are you tackling that?
Yeah, so I'll kind of look at it two different areas of need, and that's kind of the manufacturing folks, and then, well, for lack of a better term, we'll call it the front office people, right? And that's what we've been talking about. We can talk a little bit more about our internship program in a bit and some of the other things that we've done. But on the manufacturing side, again, it's a lack of knowledge about the opportunities that are out there. So almost everybody that is our employee came because they knew about the industry. They were aware of it, right? And just like you said, it's a PR problem. So we're working to kind of reestablish an apprenticeship program where we bring people through and really show them all the opportunities. And the reality is it's not going to be a fit for everybody, but we need to bring more people in so that they can see those opportunities. And then when we're looking at how opportunities have changed from past to future, is the technology inside of each print company is so much more developed that it's, don't get me wrong, they're still definitely hands-on, but there are a whole lot more positions that are less dirty ink on your hands, walk out the door, whether that's in the digital press room, whether that's with some enablements of closed loop color and some other things on the piece of equipment. We're trying to just look to see how we can further automate so that you have less mechanical human touches, and bring it from more of just an art to a little bit more on the science side of running the manufacturing side.
Oh, I just was just talking about that in a session with Cheryl Kahanik. So you and I had a really interesting conversation once where I asked you if I came in as an apprentice press person, how long would it take me to achieve some sort of greatness in your company, right? Because no Gen Zer doesn't see themselves as either running the department or running the company within like 5 months, right? Pretty much that. So there is actually a path. You were able to figure it out that within a reasonable amount of time, I think it was 7 years or less, they could end up a supervisor if they stayed on the path. That is super important, I think, for people to understand if they're going to be on the manufacturing side of things. Do you want to make any commentary on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because when I remember that conversation, and to be honest, if you have somebody that just comes in with the drive and the will to move up, they can move up significantly faster. The faster that someone wants to show that progress, the faster that we can help move them through, right? Obviously, they have to do all the supporting kind of steps to get up there. But I mean, it's not in manufacturing, but obviously look at Kiki, right? She pushed the limits in an amazing way to go from an account manager or from an associate account manager to an account manager faster than we had ever thought that someone could do it. And so we love to see people pushing us because we're always going to react to that and accept that and try to do everything we can to advance that person's career.
So we've kind of skimmed well, Kiki, did you want to add anything to that? Like when you first started, were you like, okay, how long until I can become the the account manager, training and development leader? I mean, was this in your head? Obviously I'm assuming you didn't want to remain an entry level employee. So please, and then I also want to know, don't embarrass him, but how you were encouraged or supported in that goal of yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you hit the nail on the head that younger generations want to know right away what their path can be. So, if you structure your career paths for them as, a junior level and then, mid-level and senior level, it immediately gives them something to work towards. So I highly recommend a structure like that. And as far as skills that young professionals in our industry will really have take them through their careers, we see good problem solving skills as something that moves people up in their careers faster than anything else. With all of the new technology that is available, it means that something we used to be able to do one way, we can now do 4 different ways. So you have to use that problem solving to identify what's going to be the best outcome for the customer, what's going to be the best outcome for the company, what's going to be the best outcome for the schedules that we have. So being a good problem solver and speaking up in 2 different ways, both in recognizing what you don't know and being able to ask that question without feeling embarrassed, is really going to help you do a good job. And the other way is putting forth new ideas. With new technology means we need to implement new technology. We're trailblazing. Nobody has ever done these things before. So we need those ideas. So if you have an idea, speak up. What has benefited me is both of those things, and also having someone with influence over me at the company who will listen when I do speak up and appreciate that. So it is kind of a two-way mirror there. You have to be willing to stand up for yourself, be excited, be curious, and have someone who will nurture you and support you through that growth that you're showing.
The other thing is that, it's not so clear anymore, a defined role, Kelly Malazzi always says it's marketing now. It's sales and marketing. It's a dual role. Somebody running the press room might also have to do fulfillment or help with the die cutting. So Ryan, how do you even write job descriptions that are like, hey, we need you to do everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's a challenge because there's certain specific roles of, right, what an estimator does or an account manager, but I think that's where you certainly have to write something in a short synopsis that gets someone's attention. And then I think it's really, you have to have a conversation in an interview process to really explain all of those additional items. And kind of hiking on what Kiki was saying, where she said about raising her hand. Kiki came to me one day saying, "Hey, I was looking at our Facebook and we don't have I think it was a Twitter, whatever, social media." And then from that conversation, Kiki helped re-engage and restart our marketing. And now our marketing is unbelievable in all the things that we're doing. It all came from a suggestion from Kiki in a conversation. So, we super appreciate those types of employees that are willing to put themselves out there and give suggestions.
I want to piggyback off that answer a little bit, just to say how important internships are, both to employees and to new people coming into our industry, going through a print education. SPC offers an internship that is rotational. So the intern will rotate through every single department at our company, with the goal being when they leave that internship, they have a full understanding of every possible career we could hire them for after college, so that they're able to make an informed decision about their future. Because those job descriptions they're not always interpreted by the potential employee the way that you think it's going to be interpreted when you're writing. So having that hands-on experience is so vital. So, we think internships are very important. And we sort of need the whole industry to be on board for internships, so that these college programs can keep hosting career fairs where they have potential employers coming in and interviewing for internships, so that all students graduating from a print program can have that experience under their belts and be able to make that informed decision, which is only going to benefit the whole industry by keeping educated workforce always available to us.
Couldn't agree more. So Ryan, what advice would you, now where obviously everybody watching this right now is most likely in the printing industry or involved in some way because they're here for International Print Day. But we are going to take all of these sessions and share them individually, and certainly share them with the students and the universities and the technical schools out there. So what is your advice to a young professional who is considering a career in the print industry? We'll start with you, Ryan, and we'll wrap it up with you, Kiki.
Yeah, so for a young professional, someone that might be out of college, certainly feel free to reach out to any of the people, whether it's you, whether it's me. We're always happy to, for instance, we have a virtual tour where we can give someone a virtual tour and showcase our entire facility and talk about all the opportunities within the industry. I think that for the folks that are already in that are well into their careers, that are looking to help younger people, I think it's go find a high school or a middle school, whether they have a print program or not. Go try to do a speaking engagement and showcase all of the awesomeness of our industry. The more younger people that know about it, the higher the opportunity and likelihood that they might ask and try to find a college program or go directly into the industry.
Thank you so much. Kiki?
So my answer is going to be to look for a company that is going to stay on the cutting edge. That's going to kind of help know that you're always going to be relevant and staying with what's current. And to go along with that, dedicate yourself to being a lifelong learner. Know that you will never be done learning. When there is a new technology that's adopted by the industry or by your company, go out and learn about it and be ready to do that and be excited to do that. I think that's going to be very helpful.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your time, your efforts, everything you've done. Wow, there's a big open house going on the screen over there. I can't wait to see what's going on. I think that might be part. Are you guys part of the Xerox team? Wave your hand if you're. Is that, or Jamie the printer? Okay, we'll find out in a second. Okay. Kiki and Ryan, thank you so much for being here, for sharing your time, for sharing your knowledge. Kiki, you are still one of the shining examples of all the possibilities. And Ryan, you remain my hero when it comes to everything workforce development. So thank you guys so much. Connect with Ryan, connect with Kiki. And really, if you're out there and looking for a job, check out SPC. Thank you guys so much.